We are the brave. We'll fight you in name, the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save, stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, just that star, spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the brave, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxSpeedTV.
Let's go. I was born to kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, and I didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flames. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be on 5th place. On this one, then 4th on the next. 3rd, 2nd, 1st, I report for the best. She showing love, give me all the raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. I do it for the love, they perform for the checks, and I still get more. They be bored by the rest. I done put the work in, wasn't born in success. See the storm, it affects the performance. But I dance in the rain and the thunder, the drums. So I keep going hard, I won't stop till I'm done. From the bottom to the top, I'm the one. I can drop in a month, I'll be back at the top. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Yeah, we blow the house down. Yeah, we blow the house down. Big moves will shake the ground. All the greats who came before us, we about to make them proud. We've got to make this count. Take the ball and raise it now. Make noise and crazy loud. It's all moment, let me hear you shout. Don't give up, we can turn it round. We got the fire, we burn it down. Yo, I pop champagne at the back of the club. Yo, I'm back with a sweat, tears back with a blood. How to get it out of mud, kinda like Predator. Get to the chopper, pockets getting fatter, so she called me Big Papa. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy.
That's right, folks. This Saturday night, once again, OP Racing Buttkicker Unlimited Series coming to you live here at Daytona tonight. The Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University 250, sponsored by our friend Dave Hunt. Welcome, everybody, to MaxSpeedTV. Stephen Lane up in the booth. Now, don't forget, Joshua is back on the mic tonight with the new league on MaxSpeedTV. Although he is having issues with YouTube, he is streaming in on Facebook. You can click that Facebook link there in the chat. And I don't think he can see the chat on Facebook, but be sure you go over there and show Joshua some love. I'm sure he'll be able to see that when he gets done broadcasting and back where he can see the chat. But, guys, we are, my SDK has frozen up, but we are about 10 minutes or so, less than 10 minutes, about 7.5 minutes left of practice, and then they will get into qualifying. We're going to go ahead and get to some of our pre-race analytics here. 13-mile-an-hour wind, 81-degree air temp, and 114-degree track temp here at Daytona. Of course, our big shout-out to Nerditudes for the overlay system we are using now, SDK. They helped me get this all set up, but big shout-out to the guys over at Nerditudes. But, guys, we are in for a wild night here at Daytona. We're going to go ahead jump into our point standings as well. Of course, you see, let me get that race sponsor out of the way real quick. Anthony English with 2 wins on the season so far. Vicente Guerrero with the win. Lynn McNeese with the win. Of course, Andy Brigante with the win as well. Adam Kilday is plus 68 above the cut line. Stephen Miles plus 65. Rick Seabrands plus 59. Gabe Butler at plus 58. Dana Shepard up to plus 31. Jimmy Reynolds plus 28. Stuart Broderick up to plus 27. Bubba Winningham plus 24. That is Peyton Lindsay, I think is his name. Let me see if he is here tonight. I'm not seeing him in the session, but he is plus 18. Brandon Pfeiffer plus 16. Doug Johnson plus 16 and Dustin Logston plus 5. And then at minus 5 below the cut line, you have Andrew Zanto. Kenny Bishop at minus 6 below. Chris Jordan minus 16 and Steve Rada minus 20. Well, just taking a look at what happened our last race. Of course, Anthony English coming out with the victory at iRacing Super Speedway. Vicente Guerrero in second. Adam Kilday third. Stuart Broderick in fourth. And Rick Seabrands coming in fifth. The last 3 races, the most points. Rick Seabrands with 118. Vicente Guerrero 116. Adam Kilday at 115. Stephen Miles at 106. And Gabe Butler at 101. So these guys are finishing up practice. We are going to, let's see. Well, let's go ahead and bring the man of the hour, Anthony, buddy. Again, glad to see you back out on the track a little more often, man. What are you expecting tonight here at Daytona?
Oh man, a little bit of normal, huh? After having Atlanta and IRSS the last couple weekends,
You're right.
So we get back to some normal super speedway racing tonight. So I don't know. I mean, it feels like a good day. So I'm thinking we're gonna have a good race.
Well, I think so. Weather's perfect. The track's looking good out there. Guys are getting some practice laps, some final practice laps in. Want to talk a little bit about the track if you got time, and real quick about how the track feels, the pit entrance, pit exit. I know you guys have been working on some of that stuff while you're out there practicing.
Yeah. Go ahead, shoot.
So how is it actually feeling to you? I mean, I know at Daytona the pit entrance is always kind of tricky, but I mean with we're not as high as the track temperatures we usually run, or as it usually is. It's a little bit lower. Oops, let me got the wrong one up. I mean, we're at 115 degrees, but that makes the entrance and exits a little bit treacherous.
Yeah, I mean it's a little warmer for practice right now. I mean, we'll be transitioning into dusk and into night here as we go into qualifying and the actual race. So it'll probably be a little bit cooler. So it should be a little bit better, but it didn't feel too bad. Me and Dustin were out there. We did a couple practice pit stops and stuff, and it felt pretty solid as long as you hit your marks. You know, don't overbrake or try to throw it in there. It was fine. So if it's a little bit cooler here for the later little bit of it at night, it should be a little bit better.
All right. Well, Anthony, buddy, glad to have you back out there. Like I said, it's good to see you back out there a little more. I know I know we talked about this before, and I know you said it's not anything you'd wish on your worst enemy, but glad you're doing well, brother, and love seeing you back out on the track.
Yeah, every day is a little bit better, Steve. I'll tell you what. Today I probably woke up feeling the overall best I've felt in months, and it's just nice. It's just good to start feeling good again.
Yeah, well, you know, we were all rooting for you, buddy. Of course, I don't know if you, which I think you probably know, but Joshua is actually back on the mic broadcasting tonight as well on another league. So, yeah, we're glad to see him back up in the booth as well.
Oh wow, nice. Nice. That's awesome to hear. That means he's finally doing a little bit better.
Yeah, for now. So we'll see how it turns out. But good luck, Anthony. We're going to let you go, and hopefully we'll catch you. Well, the way you've been going, we're probably going to see you at the end of the race.
We'll see. I had computer problems Wednesday, and I think I'm having a little bit of internet issues. So I mean, if I have a little bit of issues tonight, I'm probably just going to ride around just so I'm here, make my starts and all that jazz. But if it holds up, I might do a little bit at the end.
Well, if nothing else, if you have to get out, just come up here and visit with me.
Yeah, will do, man.
All right, brother. We'll see you later.
All right, thank you. You too, bud.
We'll get him back down there while he finishes practice. Let's see here. Of course, we got to give a few other shout-outs to some sponsors we have. Our Chevyland Green Flag sponsor, MaxSpeedTV. So Bubba Winningham at Chevyland.com. If you're in the market for a new pre-owned vehicle, go to Chevyland.com. Check out what they have. If you can't make it to Shreveport, Louisiana to pick it up, they will deliver in the lower 48 states. So that's Chevyland.com. Also, a big shout out to Buttkicker for sponsoring the series. Of course, the season champion at the end will receive a Buttkicker haptic system for their rig. Well, while these guys are getting ready to qualify, we're going to go ahead and step aside, and we will be right back. When we get back qualified, we'll be underway. Well, welcome back, folks. And as you can see, it has gotten a little bit darker. So we are transitioning to that dusk to night race. But right now, it looks like Dustin Logston, the first one out on the track in that 81 machine. May have to adjust some of my volumes on the fly. Actually switched to different cameras tonight. Just because we were trying to change it up a little bit. But right now, looks like Nate Warren is out on the track. Jimmy Reynolds coming out. Mike Edgerton out on the track. Chris Jordan, Rick Sanchez, Adam Kilday, Dwayne Corbett, Dustin Logston, Gary Bergeron, and of course Dana Shepard. So big shout out to everybody out there in chat. Got 11 watching right now. Dylan, my nephew, out there, out on the road. Belva Feltz tuning in, as well as Everett Baker. Bubba Winningham popping in for a minute. Daniel Parent out there, And, of course, our friend as well is Ginger Parent out there as well. The lap times should start coming in here shortly, folks. We've got several guys out on the track. Stephen Luttrell, Nate Warren, Dave Hunt, the race sponsor for tonight. Out on the track, James Mayer in that beautiful red, white, and blue stars and stripes. The 95 machine. Jimmy Reynolds out on the track. Jimmy sporting a purple car. A little bit different car than we're used to seeing Jimmy in. That 17 Metallica machine, that is looking sharp. Jeremy Stanley, one of the Nerditude guys, out there on the track as well. Right now, Dustin Logston with that top spot with a 51 flat. We'll see how long that holds up for some of the faster guys. Adam Kilday looking for Jimmy Reynolds coming in second, but Rick Sanchez jumping up into that first spot with a 50.97. Adam Kilday is not showing up on my driver bar for some reason, but he is currently in second. Dustin Logston in third. Jimmy Reynolds fourth. Dwayne Corbett in fifth. Chris Jordan sixth. Gary Bergeron in seventh. Nate Warren eighth. Dana Shepard ninth. And Mike Edgerton in the top 10. Thomas Lockwood coming in to that top 5 in fourth place. Of course, Anthony English coming out on the track. So, you know, Anthony always qualifies well. Bubba Whittingham out on the track. And like I said, I do not know why. Let me refresh my SDK here, folks, to see. There we go. A little bit of issues with SDK. So, Sanchez and Kilday timing just the same on their qualifying lap. Jeremy Stanley coming in fourth now, knocking Thomas Lockwood down to fifth. William Luttrell, the Luttrell fan club's in the house. Glad to have you here, William. Definitely glad to see everybody tonight. We should be winding down, but right now Rick Sanchez is your pole sitter. Gabe Butler throwing down a third place time. Like I said, I do not know why SDK is doing that. But with a 50.99, Vicente Guerrero with a 50.98 going into that third place spot. Looking through, Andy Brigante looks like he is out on the track as well as Brandon Piper. Anthony English sitting down on pit road. Well, qualifying's over. That's going to put Rick Sanchez as your pole sitter. So let's get Rick up here to the booth real quick. And we will visit with Rick.
We are good.
Hey, Rick, caught you mid-sentence, buddy. I started to get as good as Joshua on that.
Somebody was asking if we were gridden as affirming.
Yeah, well, you got the pole tonight there, Rick. Awesome lap time. You and Adam actually tied with a 50.97. You might have just been just a split second faster, but awesome job. You are on the pole. How is things feeling out there to you right now?
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty stable. I haven't felt anything weird or anything. And kind of surprised I'm up here. I was waiting for Gabe to go by me. And Adam, actually. Surprised that both of them didn't get me.
Well, you got the pole anyway, but awesome job. Pretty decent field, 35 cars. What are you expecting tonight?
I'm expecting I'm going to drop to the back and hang out and try and stay out of trouble. And then make my move toward the end of the race.
All right.
It's a long one, not 100 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one. Well, good luck, buddy. We're going to let y'all go get ready to grid up and roll out, and we will talk to you later.
Alrighty, catch y'all later.
Get him back down there. I believe he was down there in team number 4. Well, we're going to go ahead and get our grid up here. Right now, your row 1 on the inside on the pole, Rick Sanchez. Outside of him in that second place spot is Adam Kilday. Starting row number 2 inside, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. He is outside the 88 of Gabe Butler. Row number 3 on the inside, Dustin Logston in that 81 machine. On his outside, his teammate, Nerditudes Racing, is that 60 of Jeremy Stanley. Row number 4, Thomas Lockwood in that 38 machine. He is outside the 95 of James Mayer. Row number 5 inside the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. To his outside will be the 024 of Everett Lane. Row number 6, Richard Kuhn in the 47 on the inside. He is outside the 11 of Dwayne Corbett. Row number 7 is the 6 of Bubba Winningham. He is outside race sponsor Dave Hunt in that 53 machine. Row number 8, Chris Jordan in the 78 car. He is outside the 10, the 10 of Gary Bergeron. Row number 9 is the 16 of Nate Warren. His outside is the 13 of Andy Brigante. Stephen Luttrell showing up there in number 36 on that 10th row inside. His outside is the 43 of Dana Shepard. Starting row number, where's he at? Okay, I think I missed a spot here. Row number 11 is the 56 of Mike Edgerton. His outside is CJ Urban in the 094. Row number 12, the 8 of Stephen Miles. His outside the 44 of Anthony English. Row 13, the 54 of Brandon Pfeiffer. He is outside the 06 of Andrew Zonto. Row number 14, the 01 of Stuart Broderick. His outside is the 049 of Nick Wing. Row number 15 is the 04 of Mark Mann. His outside is the 49 of Kenny Bishop. Row number 16 is the 069 of Ryan Callahan. His outside the 48, the coach, Andrew Schroeder. Row number 17, the 84 of Lynn McNeese. His outside is the 388 of Doug Johnson. And that's going to not let me go through the rest of the field, but Rick Seabrand's in the 4. Looks like Stephen Miles and David Stringle is going to start from the pits, from the looks of it. Well, here we go. Lights on the pace car are out, folks. As we get to that Geico start zone, or the Geico start zone. Chevy Lane green flag in the air, folks. Here we go. Boogity, 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 folks. We're racing here at Daytona for the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University 250. Like I said, folks, I may have to do some minor adjustments here, so bear with me. If you see that pop up, we'll try to get that off the screen as quickly as possible. So far, Adam Kilday jumping down into that lower lane in front of the pole sitter of Rick Sanchez. Ooh, that was loud. Gabe Butler in second now. Rick Sanchez dropping to third. Jeremy Stanley fourth. We'll go ahead and get our split time up there. Kind of keep an eye on the rest of the field. 88 Gabe Butler on the outside with, looks like the 81. Or no, that's a 60 of Jeremy Stanley. I'm used to seeing Dustin Logston in that bright green car. Dustin is right there in the mix in the 81. He's actually in the red and white car tonight. Looks like the Budweiser car, but I could be wrong. Adam Kilday going to lead another lap here. Vicente Guerrero moving up to third. Gabe Butler kind of falling back on that outside line. Jeremy Stanley looks up to the high side. Here comes Vicente Guerrero moving up to that outside line. Got to watch out if he doesn't. Oh, we got a wreck going on back here. I'm not sure what happened. No caution. That's Andy Brigante. Steven Miles did make it back out on the track. Right now, Adam Kilday is your leader, but battling it out with Vicente Guerrero on that outside line with Gabe Butler, Jeremy Stanley, James Mayer. Looks like Everett Lane out there on that outside line as well. Vicente looking to drop it down in front of Adam, but Adam got a run and with a push from the 5 of Rick Sanchez. And that is, again, I'll have to catch that on the next lap into turn 4. We'll try to get that camera angle turned down a little bit. So we complete lap number 5 on lap number 6 now. Adam pushing up to the high side, going to give some air into that 5 machine of Rick Sanchez. Oh, we're door banging side by side, 3 wide. We're wrecking though, folks. The 95 of James Mayer around. That is going to bring out a caution for sure. We're going to take a look at this here, folks. Right there, we see the 60 of Jeremy Stanley coming up. Let's go ahead and get the rewind on this. As we are on James Mayer. Looks like Gabe Butler might have had a bad push right there. It got Gabe a little bit loose. Check up by Jeremy Stanley. It gets into, that's where all that stuff started with Adam. As the 95 James Mayer goes up high, and Everett Lane was trying to stay up with him, kind of clips him. That gets Jeremy Stanley, and then right back up into the 024 of Everett Lane. Somehow Dave Hunt making it through. But then I think we had more cars spinning. It was a 16 and 8 Warren goes down to the bottom. That collects the 54. That's Brandon Pfeiffer. Ooh, hard shot by Dana Shepard right into Everett Lane. Dana was trying to avoid all of that, ends up getting caught up in it. And there's the 11. That is Dwayne Corbett getting pushed down to the grass as well. Well, unfortunately, that collected several cars. Well, that's going to put Adam Kilday as your leader, Gabe Butler second, Richard Kuhn third, Chris Jordan in fourth, Nate Warren rounding out your top 5. And then we had Jimmy Reynolds, Anthony English, Thomas Lockwood, Bubba Whittingham, and Kenny Bishop rounding out the top 10. Right now, Dwayne Corbett is coming off of pit road as Doug Johnson, Nick Wing, Vicente Guerrero still down on pit road. Brandon Pfeiffer coming off of pit road. Andy Brigante down on pit road. Dana Shepard on pit road. Stephen Miles coming out of his pit box. And David Stringle coming off of pit road as well. Well, even the ones that started on pit road, looks like they are back on the lead lap. We're going to turn that one down just a little bit. That's what we were having problems with. Eric out there in chat now. Hey, Eric, good evening, sir. I know Everett Baker said he was done with today. Man, I hope it gets better for you, Everett. Of course, don't forget tomorrow, Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Trust me, I know it's a thankless job, but, you know, we got to do it. Fortunately, my kids are grown and on their own. Pretty much, so oh, the leaders come down pit road. That put Anthony English into that top spot. Anthony looks like he is taking tires and some fuel. Well, lights on the pace car are out. Adam Kilday, Gabe Butler going to get us started here. Of course, don't forget we are having a dual broadcast, a double broadcast tonight here on MaxSpeedTV. Unfortunately, for Joshua, Medlock is back in the booth, but his YouTube was having some problems. So he is streaming on our MaxSpeedTV Facebook page. Link is in the comments, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pin that to the pinned messages. So be sure you jump over there and at least tell Josh that you're glad to see him back in the booth. He may join. They're only doing 50 laps on his broadcast, so maybe him and Jeremy will jump over. Steve Hoppett, our friend from down under, down in Australia. Steve, good to see you, buddy. Well, here we go. Back to the Chevy Land green flag once again. Back on the loud pedal. Adam Kilday, almost called him Adam English. Adam Kilday gets a good jump on the start. The cue ball 37. Corbett's going to break through on one of these. He's such a good racer. You know, he's one of the new guys that's really, let's see if I can find him here. Here he is, the number 11. Has really surprised me. Has been a very clean, respectful driver. Not been overly aggressive, but, you know, that's the kind of racers they want here. So definitely glad to see him joining the Saturday night mix here. The Unlimited Series presented by Buttkicker. So definitely glad to see him out on the track and joining this crew. State Warren jumped up in front of Gabe Butler. That puts Adam Kilday and Richard Kuhn on the inside. Well, here comes the 38 of Stephen Luttrell trying to make his way, or I'm sorry, that's Thomas Lockwood in the 38. Trying to make his way up to that lead group. Now Stephen Luttrell is out on the track. He is back here. Where did I see him? Just seen him. He is back here in 13th spot. In that 36 machine. This side up, I love that. Adam Kilday, Nate Warren battling it out. We're going to turn our battle position on here. We can see these guys. Let's get on our y'all let me know if the engines are too loud and we'll readjust the volume there. As as they turn into 1 and 2. Adam Kilday on the inside, Nate Warren his outside. Stephen Kuhn in that 47 on the inside with Thomas Lockwood, and the 49 of Kenny Bishop. And that 49, that Nerditudes 49 machine, is a beautiful car. Got that chrome spec Mac going, looking good. Of course, Jimmy Reynolds, that 17 Metallica car, kind of fading out on me there. I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm a big Metallica fan, like Metallica. Ooh, 3 wide, Dustin Logston to the outside. Let's get a little bit wider here. That's Dustin Logston with the 54. Brandon Pfeiffer was looking to the outside as Dwayne Corbett making his way around Dustin. Dustin kind of kind of left out hanging to dry there by himself. And we got to look at Dustin's car. I got to see what that says. Nerdwiser. The 81 of Dustin Logston running the Nerdwiser. Mario Super Slurs. There's the Nerditudes.gg. Go check them out. We get back up on the front though. Nate Warren getting a good push out in front of Adam Kilday. Well, don't look now, but Gabe Butler on that outside line. That is the 78 of Chris Jordan right there with him as the 17 of, that's Jimmy Reynolds, trying to close that gap there. Side-by-side racing back through the field here. Dustin looking back to the outside once again. Oh, into the wall. He's able to hang on to it. I don't know if Dustin's having problems or what is going on, but he is losing spots. He's got the 001. That is Stuart Broderick. Going to try to push him back up to the front. Now Dustin has a teammate, a Nerditudes teammate, in that 60 car on his inside. But Dustin's going to get a good push by Stewart, get him up to the front. 54 Cheddar's machine turned to the 11 around with Dwayne Corbett, collects Mike Edgerton. Ooh, Jeremy Stanley, Vicente Guerrero. That's going to bring out another caution here, folks. We were watching that live, but we're going to go ahead and take a rewind on this and take a look. Looked like Dwayne Corbett might have went up just a little and came back down. Let me see if I can get on his car, and we'll get on a chase view here. We'll get this turned around. Let's go to a far chase. I don't have a far chase. But you can see Dwayne kind of goes up as a 54 of Brandon Pfeiffer, keeping that line, and then right there Corbett's coming back down, and then right across the nose of the 54, Mike Edgerton, nowhere for Mike to go. Again, that collected, it looks like Jeremy Stanley, Stuart Broderick. It looks like the 69, I believe that is Ryan Callahan, gets caught up in it as well. Vicente Guerrero, Dana Shepard, Stephen Miles dropping down, Mark Mann right into the back of the 95 of James Mayer. That sent James up in the air. The 13 of Andy Brigante locking it up, going down low. Lynn McNeese trying to miss it as well. as there is hoods and body parts flying everywhere, folks. We'll get back on our live here. Well, that's going to put Gabe Butler in that top spot. Well, let's see. We'll see if Gabe will visit. Gabe, Steve up in the booth. Got a copy there, buddy.
What's up there, Steve?
Hey, not a whole lot. Just watching you guys making left turns, but getting a little bit dicey from time to time out there.
Yeah, I will say this now. Since they made the update, this car has become just a little bit unstable.
Is that just in general, or has the bump draft got worse?
Yeah, a little bit. I know they tried to improve it because people were going through other people's bumpers prior to the update. Now, I think they fixed that part. But it seems like when you touch somebody, if you're not fully square, you can get away with it. But sometimes it just, for some reason, you could hit them in the very same spot in the same area on the track and just shoot them to the left or right, whatever the case may be. So it's kind of odd.
Well, looking at the track, you guys, I mean, ideal line seems to be that low line, but that second lane, you guys just don't have much of a run up there.
No, the big thing with the second lane is, well, number one, you got to pinch a little bit, but number two, the third car in line has got to be on the second car pushing as close as possible.
Gotcha.
And you got to build that run up, and if you don't have 2 or 3 cars up there, then, or at least 3 anyway, you're not going to go anywhere. So, I guess the goal is for the pusher to manage their temps pushing the car. So, you got that too.
All right. Well, Gabe, appreciate you taking the time to visit with us. We got a lot of people out there watching, and it's good to see you guys out on the track. Pretty good field tonight. So good luck, buddy. We're going to let you go, and hopefully we'll catch you later.
All right, Steven. Thanks, man.
Yeah, buddy. All right, we'll get him back down there to his channel. We talked to Gabe. Nate Warren currently second. Chris Jordan third. Jimmy Reynolds fourth. Adam Kilday rounding out your top 5 as we get ready to go back green. They are on the back stretch. Again, do appreciate everybody tuning in. Of course, that pinned message up at the top, our good friend and owner of MaxSpeedTV, making his return to the broadcast booth tonight. Was having problems with YouTube, but he is streaming over on Facebook. I think they're running a 50-lap race tonight for that league, so he might pop in here if they get done before we do. The lights on the pace car are out. They're coming out of turn number 4. As we get to our restart cam, pace car will dive off down to pit road. Flag man does have the green flag in his hand. As the Chevyland green flag comes back out once again on the loud pedal. Here we go, folks. Back green flag racing. Gabe gets a good jump on that restart. Gets it out front, but nobody really out there with him. Nate Warren and Jimmy Reynolds trying to hook up 78. Oh, an automatic caution. Not sure what happened, but folks, we're going to go back and take a look, see what that was. Looked like Mike took us back to Mike Edgerton. Oh, the 36, Stephen Luttrell turned around. Well, let's take a look here, folks, and see if we can get on Stephen Luttrell. And we'll do a rewind here. Let's get on our chase cam here, folks, and see what happened to Steven. He's on that outside line. He is on the back of that Cheddar's machine. Steven Miles right behind him. Oh, looks like the 43 gave Steven Miles a shove. And that got into the back. Let's take a look here. We'll go back here to Dana Shepherd. I don't know if Steven missed a shift. He slowed way down, but Dana Shepherd got a piece of that as well. Well, folks, not sure what happened there, what caused it. But we are back live, and Stephen Luttrell, I believe, has taken his car. Well, he's in the pits right now. Not sure what happened there. I don't know if he missed a shift or what happened. Oh no, there's the explanation, shifter problems. So it looked like Steven might have missed a shift because of a shifter issue. Well, folks, we're going to go ahead and bring him up. Steven, seen you put in the chat you had some shifter issues, buddy. Everything okay?
Yeah, the shifter's in the yard now.
Uh-oh. That's not a good thing.
We're gonna go to paddle shifters. The shifter is not working.
All right, buddy. Well, we was wondering, we were kind of, the way it kind of looked like you might have missed a shift, but we didn't know for sure. You posted up in the YouTube chat, but man, I hope you get things fixed and get back out there.
Yep, I'm getting it. Thanks.
All right, buddy. Well, there you have it. Has some shifter issues, and unfortunately, he said that shifter is out in the yard. Well, guys, just like anything, technology always has, you're going to have issues from time to time. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So hopefully he can get things worked out, get back out on the track. Anthony English down on pit road as well. Well, guys, we're going to step aside for just a second. We're going to play our butt kicker commercial once again, but we will, by the time we get back, should be back to green flag. Well, it looks like they're coming out of turn number 3 and 4 right now, so we'll just wait. Or no, they're coming down the back stretch, so we will be right back. Well, folks, got a fresh cup of coffee. These guys are lighted up, getting ready to restart this race. Got to get all the kinks worked out. These guys will settle in. Brendan Kennedy joining us out there in chat. It's all right, Brendan. Glad to have you here, buddy. Pace car dives off to pit road once again. Here we go. Chevy Land green flag back in the air. On the loud pedal. Again, Gabe Butler getting a good jump out to the front. Jimmy Reynolds right there. And that is Chris Jordan up there in the mix. And C.J. Erdman. Bubba Winningham up 8 spots in the 5th. Nate Warren up 11 spots in the 6th. Looking back through the field right now, our biggest mover looks to be Doug Johnson, up 19 spots, up into 15th spot. Here we go, Bubba Winningham to the outside. Nate Warren right there with him. Adam Kilday trying to push them up to the front. Gabe Butler on the inside with Jimmy Reynolds, Chris Jordan, C.J. Erdman, Richard Coon, Vicente Guerrero, Dustin Logston. Of course, on the outside, Bubba Winningham, Nate Warren, Adam Kilday, 54 of Brandon Pfeiffer, the 01, the 001 of Stuart Broderick, the 38. Oh, Bubba around. Here we go. Adam Kilday, Brandon Pfeiffer, Thomas Lockwood, all involved. Let's take a rewind here. We know it was on Bubba. So let's go up here and see. Let's get on our chase cam here. That was Nate Warren right behind Bubba. This is kind of what Gabe was talking about with the draft, the bump draft. Nate just barely off center. That sends Bubba up into the wall. Collects Adam, Brandon, Richard Coon involved. Getting a piece of it as well. Trying to get a better camera angle here, folks, but it is not wanting to cooperate. Stuart Broderick getting a piece of it. Vicente Guerrero, Thomas Lockwood. Guys checking up, trying to check up. Dave Hunt getting spun around. Andrew Schroeder getting a piece of that. The 11, that is the guy we were just talking about, Dwayne Corbett. There is guys trying to lock it down. There's Andy Brigante. The 56 of Mike Edgerton getting involved in it as well. As we go back live here. These guys will come down, try to save their fast repair. Ooh, Bubba slid through his box, having to back up. They will try to get as much damage as they can get fixed. Looks like Bubba is going to try to use his fast repair. I don't know what was going on, but right now Gabe Butler is going to be your leader. The 47 of Richard Coon in second, Chris Jordan third, Dustin Logston fourth, Jimmy Reynolds fifth. Your pole sitter, Rick Sanchez in 6th, C.J. Erdman 7th, Stephen Miles in 8th, Gary Bergeron 9th, Kenny Bishop 10th, Everett Lane 11th, Andrew Zonto in 12th, Lynn McNeese in 13th, Mark Mann 14th, Nick Wing in 15th, James Mayer 16th, Rick Seabrand 17th, Anthony English in 18th, Andrew Schroeder 19th, Bubba Winningham back out on the track in 20th, Ryan Callahan in 21st, Doug Johnson in 22nd. Brigante, Roderick Kilday, Vicente Guerrero, Jeremy Stanley, Thomas Lockwood, David Striegel coming off of pit road, Dave Hunt, Nate Warren. You see Mike Edgerton coming out now, Dana Shepard. All those guys are still in their pit box right now, trying to get damage fixed. Jeremy Stanley, Vicente Guerrero coming off of pit road now. Adam Kilday out of his box as well. Lights on the pace car are out, so here we go. We're going to get side-by-side racing here, get lined up. Again, I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Glad to see everybody on this wonderful Saturday. I hope everybody is staying safe. I know we had some another round of pretty bad storms blow through earlier, and I think we got some more coming in tonight and into tomorrow for Father's Day. So, and again, big shout out to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to all of you guys, and of course, big happy birthday to the United States Army. Of course, I myself a 26-year veteran, retired from the Army in 2018, so big happy birthday to the Army as well. Looks like Adam coming back down pit road. Stephen Luttrell trying to get in position. I don't know if he's still having shifter issues or if he's waiting on cars. Looks like he might be waiting on cars to get around him. I don't know who the 92 was. I'm not seeing a 92. Pace car does dive off down to pit road once again. Chevyland green flag back out. Here we go, folks. Back on the loud pedal. Almost a late start there, it seemed like. We get back into the race here, folks. Looks like Brandon Pfeiffer is out, as well as Dwayne Corbett. Hate to see that. Like I said, I'm trying to find out who that 92 machine was. Somebody running a different... that is Mr. Nick Ween in the 92 machine. Supposed to be the 049, but showing 92 on the car. Here we go, folks. Back around once again. Lap 28 in the books, or on lap 28 now. A lot of wiggling going on. Of course, we heard Gabe talking about the updates they did to these cars, trying to fix things, and apparently did not get them fixed good enough or get them fixed right. We come around turns 3 and 4, we're going to come down the front triangle here. Gabe Butler still out front, Richard Coon to the outside. Looks like he's got 81 of Dustin Logston right there with him. 78 of Chris Jordan. Kind of ease up into that second lane. 81, the 47, making a good run. The 78 gives Gabe a little bit of a bump. Looks like he's trying to be gentle, but he is doing a good enough job to get Gabe out to the front. Hope he's going to try to make a move to get to that outside line, but he is going to be content right behind Gabe. 47 to 81. Old 94 of CJ Erdman. Don't look now. Here comes the 10 of Gary Bergeron. And the 16 of Nate Warren. Trying to get caught up on that outside line. Everett Lane down there on the bottom behind Stephen Miles. Got Doug Johnson right behind him. And Lynn McNeese making his way up through the field. Kind of a checkup right there. Steve Erdman as Everett Lane as Steve Miles get bumped real hard, but was able to maintain. Gabe Butler still on that inside. Chris Jordan making that move to the outside in front of Richard Kuhn. Going to try to get pushed up there to lead a lap. Is he going to lead this lap? He is not going to get that lap led. That's going to go to Gabe Butler. Now Chris Jordan getting pushed out towards the front by that 47 of Richard Kuhn. Losing momentum into that corner. Just, I don't know what it is about Daytona and that corner entrance. Ooh. Chris moving up to the top line. Up a little high. Got to be careful. Them guys get a run. They're not going to let them back down. They are battling for the win here, folks. As they come around 3 and 4 back to the front stretch triangle there. Or tri-oval, I should say. 88 of Gabe Butler going to lead another lap. Chris Jordan still to the outside. Going to kind of look out through the field here. Back to Jeremy Stanley. Vicente Guerrero. They're side-by-side racing with right there about Jeremy Stanley. Andy Pagante to the outside. Rick Sanchez, Nick Wing. David Stringle, Ryan Callahan, Mark Mann back here in 20th. Andrew Schroeder in 21st, but they're all single file. Looks like there's a pretty good gap between Stuart Broderick, James Mayer, but in this group you got James Mayer, Rick Seabrins, Dave Hunt, Bubba Winningham, Data Shepard, Anthony English, Adam Kilday, Kenny Bishop, Andrew Zonto, Thomas Lockwood, and that is Mike Edgerton. Now Stephen Luttrell is back out on the track. He is a lap down, but he is up here with this lead group. Brandon Pfeiffer, Dwayne Corbett, both taking their cars behind the wall. Their night ended early. I hate to see that for those guys. But back up to the front here, folks, as we get through turns 1 and 2, I believe is where we're at. We are going to get back. Nope, we're coming out at 3 and 4 here, folks. 3 wide back here. That's Vicente Guerrero. 16 and Nate Warren on the outside of Chris Jordan. Chris Jordan kind of got door to door with Doug Johnson, pushed Doug back down to the apron, but Doug able to get back under control, getting caught up with this lead lap once again. 24 of Everett Lane right there with that 14 of Vicente Guerrero, the 16 of Nate Warren on the outside. Dustin Logston trying to make a run to get caught up with that lead pack on that outside. The 47, Richard Kuhn, moving back up to the outside behind Dustin. Oh, Doug Johnson leaping out. Guys, as a driver, that is so scary when you're behind somebody, especially when you're trying to push. They blink out, next thing you know, you got net code, you're inside their car when they come back up on the racing surface. Battling right here, Everett Lane on the outside, Vicente Guerrero, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds on that inside. Gabe Butler, though, is trying to make that run work on that inside line. Again, to me, that appears to be the better line is down low. We enter the tryover here. Everett Lane gonna lead that lap. Looking back through the field here though, folks. Just single file. That big group. Stuart Broderick kind of falling off the pace there a little bit behind Stephen Luttrell. Show Stephen back on the lead lap, but no, he is a lap down. He is the only car a lap down right now, so trying to see if I can see a gap. About a 5-second gap between Mayer and Broderick. Dave Hunt goes to the outside. Dave Hunt is falling back. Anthony English falling back as well. They may be switching places there, maybe getting a little bit overheated. Andrew Zonto up on that high side, kind of dropping it down. Oh man, Anthony's blinking out again. Back up to the lead though, just side-by-side battle between Gabe Butler, Everett Lane, Jimmy Reynolds, Vicente Guerrero, Stephen Miles, Nate Warren, Doug Johnson, Dustin Logston, Richard Kuhn, and Lynn McNeese. Richard drops it back down to that low line. Trying to make that car 3 rows wide. Doug Johnson kind of slides up the track a little bit towards Dustin Logston. 78 of Chris Jordan still right there in the mix, folks. Can't forget about him. Gary Bergeron, CJ Erdman back here in a 13th. Andy Brigante back at 14th. And Jeremy Stanley kind of falling back. But here comes Stuart Broderick on a run around that 5 of Rick Sanchez. He is coming up to the side of Jeremy Stanley right now. Making a run, trying to get a run up towards the front. 43, probably about 43% fuel, I think, is where they're at. Everett Lane dropping it down in front of Gabe Butler. That's going to open the door for the 14 of Vicente Guerrero to make a run to the outside with 16 of Nate Warren and the 81 of Dustin Logston. Here comes the 84 of Lynn McNeese trying to get into that draft to get that car line pushed up to the front. Vicente getting a shove there by the 16, but then Gabe Butler right into the back of the 24, bumping him up there. Again, our race sponsor tonight is the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University 250, sponsored by Dave Hunt. Dave, I think, is an instructor at that college down there. Basically a aeronautical flight school, flight maintenance, or aircraft maintenance school. We'll try to get Dave up here so we can talk a little bit about that. Dave's back here in the back right now behind that 4 of Rick Seabrand's. A lot of damage on the back of the 43 machine. Getting messages here. Back up to the front, coming to the tri-oval once again. Everett Lane is in the lead. Vicente Guerrero trying to get a run on that outside. Just not enough to get around the leaders at this point. Again, looking back here, I'm trying to get back here to James Mayer. He is leading this second group. That gap between him and Stephen Luttrell is about 8.5 seconds. So they may be trying to conserve and save some fuel. And Bubba Winningham right on the bumper of that 95 machine. Dana Shepard right there, as well as Rick Seabrand's Dave Hunt, Anthony English, Adam Kilday, Kenny Bishop, Thomas Lockwood, Mike Edgerton. Now we got some green flag pit stops going on. Bubba Whittingham leading that group down. Oh, Dana Shepard into the back of Bubba coming onto pit road. Oh, no. Bubba down, finally making it down to his pit box. But here comes that lead group, Everett Lane leading them down. Guys getting it shut down. Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Nate Warren, Vicente Guerrero, Chris Jordan, CJ Erdman, Mike Edgerton, and Stephen Luttrell in this group coming down. Well, that's going to put Stephen Miles as your leader right now, with Doug Johnson in second, Richard Kuhn third, Dustin Logston fourth, Lynn McNeese rounding out your top five. Guys coming off of pit road, got to be careful. We're going to see if this lead group brings it down pit road this time or if they stay out. Looks like they're going to come down. Stephen Miles leading that group. So that's going to be Stephen Miles, Richard Kuhn, Dustin Logston. Oh, Douglas Johnson getting spun around into that inside retaining wall. Got to be careful, these guys coming in. Don't want to get into anything else. And he gets in to the 53 of Dave Hunt. That's going to put Mark Mann as your leader now. Rick Sanchez second, Nick Wing third, Anthony English fourth, Adam Kilday in fifth. Stephen Miles coming back out on the track. But here comes that group. That's Mark Mann, Rick Sanchez, Nick Wing. Here comes Anthony English and Adam Kilday. That's going to put Stephen Miles in the lead. But that first group that pitted, Everett Lane, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Nate Warren, are making their way around because they are back up to speed, folks. So green flag pit stops. A little bit of excitement on the green flag pit stop. Dave Hunt back there by himself. Mark Mann is your leader, though, with Rick Sanchez, Nick Wing. But here comes that four-car group. Everett Lane, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds. They passed those guys coming off of pit road with ease. Stephen Miles is right there in fifth, but he is losing a little bit of time. Those four guys are together, but you look back here, Stephen Kuhn, Dustin Logston are working together. They're going to probably pick up Stephen Miles here and push up to that four-car pack. We'll see what happens here. We're on Stephen right now. Looking at that battle box, you can see that time between Miles and Nate Warren is closing up. And now that those three cars are together, they will start making up some time to the leaders. About a half a second back right now, working their way. Up to that four-car group. Looks like Nate Warren might have been getting a little bit warm, so he is going to the high side. Stephen Miles did close that gap right behind Jimmy Reynolds. And Nate Warren will probably just kind of fall back to the back there of this five-car group. Stephen Miles going to the outside, though. Deciding he's going to see if Nate will push him up to the front. Everett Lane still your leader right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at our driver telemetry here. As you can see, running on Gabe right now, about 190 mile an hour. See if there's any difference between Gabe and Stephen Miles. Again, that outside line is really losing momentum going into the corner, but they are gaining that exit speed, getting up to 190 mile an hour here, folks. Everett Lane on that inside. Looking back through the field here, Stuart Broderick, that group, that big group there finally caught up to the leaders. Nick Wing back here with this guy, and then back here, 3 cars, that's Ryan Callahan, that is David Stringle, and Gary Bergeron. Now, David Stringle is showing the 001 car. Stuart Broderick is showing a 001 car as well. Well, guys, we are almost halfway through this race. We are going to go ahead and step aside for a minute and do a little bit of crank it up for you tonight here, folks, on MaxSpeedTV. Here we go, folks. Hang tight. We will be right back. All right, folks, we are back. Hope everybody enjoyed that little bit of Crank It Up, lap 53 of 100. We are winding them down right now. Everett Lane, your leader. Gabe Butler in second. Jimmy Reynolds in third. Stephen Miles in fourth. Nate Ward fifth. Chris Jordan sixth. Richard Coon seventh. Vicente Guerrero eighth. Dustin Logston ninth. Jeremy Stanley rounding out your top 10. looking like trying to go 3 wide. Stephen Miles to the outside. Nate Warren dropping it back down to the old line, kind of leaving Stephen out there hanging out to dry. But Dustin Logston looking like he's wanting to take over that outside line 3rd lane, but they drop it back down to make it side by side. Nate Ward getting a little bit out of shape there. But we'll try to get with our race sponsor as soon as we can. Now Stephen Miles getting a run on that 2nd lane with Vicente Guerrero, but Gabe Butler, or no, I'm sorry, Dustin Logston, and Jeremy Stanley making it 3 wide once again. Richard Coon joining them out there as well. Been out here 11 laps, and looks like they're getting about 19 laps before they have to get fuel. Oh, Jeremy Stanley, we was talking about that. Jeremy Stanley getting a little bit loose. Going to allow Bubba Winningham to make that run on that mid-line to get caught up with the 47 machine. 36 is Stephen Luttrell right there, still 3 wide. Kind of got things calmed back down, but here we go. Looks like black traffic. Andrew Schroeder dropping it to the apron to let that group get by. Zonto down on the low line, going to force the leaders to go up to the 2nd and 3rd lane. Thomas Lockwood as well. Looks like we have lost 3 drivers for tonight. Doug Johnson, Brady Pfeiffer, Dwayne Corbin taking their cars behind the wall. Double check that here with the ticker race. And that is correct. Mike Edgerton 6 laps down, Schroeder lap down, Shepard a lap down. So we got several cars racing for that lucky dog position. If another caution comes out, we are at lap 57. First car lap down, though, is Dave and that 53 machine, our race sponsor before tonight. But Stephen Miles right now battling out with Everett Lane for the lead. Vicente Guerrero in 2nd. Oh, Vicente wasn't quite clear and dropped it down the Everett able to hang on to it. They've been out here, looks like 13 laps, so probably in the next couple of laps, we're going to start seeing another round of green flag pit stops. Stephen Miles, your leader. Everett Lane in 2nd. Vicente Guerrero 3rd. Gabe Butler 4th. Jimmy Reynolds 5th. Dustin Logston 6th. Nate Warren 7th. Richard Kuhn in 8th. Stuart Broderick 9th. And CJ Berger rounding at your top 10. Again, I do appreciate everybody out there tuning in tonight. All the likes we've got 10 likes so far tonight. If you haven't hit that like button, be sure you hit that like button. If you're new to MaxSpeedTV, be sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, let you know every time we do go live. Of course, we were having a double broadcast tonight. Unfortunately, Joshua, we got seen somebody coming down pit road. That's Bubba Winningham coming down by himself. Joshua Medlock is back in the booth, folks, so we're glad to have Joshua back out there calling races. And we'll be calling Vicente Guerrero dropping it down onto Jimmy Reynolds. It was pretty tight, but we got one back off onto the apron. I believe that was Thomas Lockwood. Get things worked out. Unfortunately, that slowed Jimmy way down. But Joshua is back calling races, folks. Calling a race on Saturday night. And then I will be sticking with these guys here on OP as Vicente Guerrero, CJ Ehrman, Andrew Zonto, Thomas Lockwood, Dana Shepard, Of course, Bubba Winningham still down on pit road. Back out here too early. You can start seeing these guys coming in. Here, probably the next lap or so. Fortunate, looks like. Don't know if Bubba jumped out of the race. Bubba Winningham, Lockwood, both out of the race as the leaders come down pit road. That's Stephen Miles, Gabe Butler, Everett Lane, Nate Warren, Dustin Logston, Jimmy Reynolds, Jeremy Stanley, Richard Kuhn, Chris Johnson, Andy Brigante, Stephen Miles, and Lynn McNeese. And then here comes that second group. James Mayer, Rick Seabrands, Ryan Callahan, Kenny Bishop, Gary Bergeron, David Stringle. We're 3 wide coming off of pit road here, folks. So now we have lost several drivers tonight. As this other group, Stuart Broderick leading Rick Sanchez, Mark Mann, Nick Wing, Andrew Schroeder, and Dave Hunt down pit road. Anthony English and Adam Kilday out here together. So that's going to put Anthony English back up into that top spot. Anthony and Adam both been out here 17 laps, so I see them hitting here pretty soon. Yeah, unfortunately, we've lost another driver, Bubba Winningham, taking his car behind the wall tonight. But here we go. Here comes Anthony and Adam down pit road. Steve Miles coming in 1 and 2, it looks like. Maybe coming out of 3 and 4. They are coming out of turn number 4 down the dry oval. Stephen Miles will take over the lead. Gabe Butler will be in second. And Nate Warren in third. Jimmy Reynolds, Everett Lane, Stephen Luttrell, I think is who that is. Hit a 36 machine on that outside line. Dustin Logston kind of by himself on the inside. But he is not going to make it easy for them to pass. But the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, the 36 of Stephen Luttrell, or the 24 of Everett Lane, getting a good run on that outside. Stephen Luttrell does drop it down and behind the 81 of Dustin Logston. Dustin takes it to the outside with that 3-car group. Mark Mann getting pushed down to the bottom. Got pushed down the pit road. Looked like it was a push by Dave Hunt. That pushed Mark Mann down to pit road. Mark, unfortunately, coming back out on the track. Now, he will get a black flag, but they should clear that because he got pushed down the pit road. Lap 65 of 100, folks. We are getting close to the end here. Right now, Stephen Miles, your leader. Jimmy Reynolds in second, Gabe Butler third, Everett Lane fourth, Nate Warren rounding out your top 5. A lot of cars in the mix here for this lead group. Dustin Logston Richard Kuhn, Len McNeese, Jeremy Stanley, CJ Erdman, Chris Jordan, Rick Sanchez, Stuart Broderick, Nick Wing, Dave Hunt still a lap down. He is trying to get this lap back. Andy Brigante and Vicente Guerrero back here, about 11 seconds off of that lead group. Mark Mann kind of back here by himself right now. He's got Andrew Schroeder in front of him. Then you got James Mayer, Kenny Bishop, Rick Seabrands, Adam Kilday, Gary Bergeron, David Stringle, Anthony English, Ryan Callahan by himself. Stephen Luttrell is up here with this lead group. Now Stephen is the first car a lap down. Andrew Zonto is a lap down as well as Dave Hunt. Andrew Schroeder, Mark Mann is making up some ground on Andrew. Dana Shepard is back here trying to get caught up. Looks like that is the 069 of Ryan Callahan. Jimmy Reynolds getting pushed out to the front by Everett Lane. Stephen Miles on the inside as they come around turns 3 and 4 back to the tri-oval. Stephen Miles is going to win another lap here, folks. We are 33 laps to go. Stephen Miles is getting a good push from Gabe Butler. Again, that outside line is losing momentum in the turn, going into the corner, into the turn, and then they are gaining coming out of the turn on the turn angle. They come to the through the tri-oval. Stephen Miles going to lead another lap. Man, Jimmy Reynolds is not making it easy. He is right there in the mix as Gabe Butler gives Stephen Miles a push. Warren right behind the 88 of Butler. Reynolds, Lane, that is Logston, Kuhn, Zonto. That looks like Hunt on the outside. Got Miles, Butler, Warren, Luttrell. Lynn McNeese, Stanley. I believe that is the 090, or is that the 078? No, that is the 094 CJ Erdman. And then you have Jordan, Sanchez, Broderick, Wing, Brigante, Guerrero. And then this big group back here is Mayer, Bishop, Seabrands, Kilday, Bergeron, Stringle, English, Mann. Callahan's still back here by himself. Lockwood seems to be falling out of that group. Sanchez and them getting caught up with that lead pack. Ten laps so far on this tank of fuel. These guys will probably be making some sort of pit strategy here pretty soon. Again, they're only getting about 18, 19 laps to a tank. So we'll probably see these guys stretch this as far as they can. 9 more laps, lap 80. They come up on the 43 of Dana Shepherd. Dana's going to stay on the low line. Let those guys around. He's not going to battle too much with that. That's going to put Shepherd down another lap. I believe that's going to make him 2 laps down. Yep, he will be 2 laps down. Oh, the 56 of Mike Edgerton having a problem. Trying to stay out of the way, but he is up close to that wall. Dana Shepherd does get back into that draft mix just so he can stay caught up with the group. Now Jimmy Reynolds has taken over the lead in front of Stephen Miles. See a lot of guys vying for that lower line position, so we may start seeing an early pit stop. We'll see what happens as Jimmy Reynolds, Stephen Miles on the bumper. Jimmy Reynolds almost gets Jimmy a little bit sideways, a little bit loose there. Coming up on another lap car of Ryan Callahan. Ryan up, holding it up into the wall. Good job by Ryan to keep it up there and away from everybody as we make another lap around. Reynolds going to lead that lap. Dustin Logston looking at making a run on the outside with the 47 of Kuhn. Zonto, and looks like that is, well, Zonto's a lap down. That is the 36 of Stephen Luttrell on that outside line with Logston. Large lap down. The guys are kind of jockeying for position here. Logston's wishing that Richard would get on his bumper a little bit more. "26 laps to go, folks. We are winding it down. Reynolds, Miles, Lane, Butler on that, Warren on the inside with McNeese. Logston, Kuhn, Zonto, Luttrell on that outside line. Dave Hunt down there on the bottom as well. Trying to stay up with that group. Thomas Lockwood looks like he has went to the pits and taken his car behind the wall. Guys, I do apologize if you hear a fan in the background. It got hot in here where all my stuff is. I closed the door so that kind of keeps the airflow down. Oh, we're wrecking. See if a caution comes out. It does not. That looked like the 47 of Richard Kuhn. Getting bent out of shape there. That drops him back to that 13th spot. He is going to have some damage. We're going to take a look at the side of his car. But he is definitely going to have some damage to that car. Yeah, that right front corner and the whole right side is scraped up. You can see that right front wheel got a little bit of a bobble in it. So he is going to have to pit early. Well, here comes the leaders though. Stephen Miles, Jimmy Reynolds, Logston, Stanley Sanchez, Jordan, Erdman, of course, Kuhn coming down, Zato down pit road. Everett Lane, we got Eric out there rooting for Everett. So you got Lane, Butler, Warren, McNeese, Wing, Broderick. 69 of Callahan is back down. Going to keep an eye on these guys. Here they come down pit road. We will be at 23 to go. As they get it shut down coming down pit road. That's Lane, Butler, Warren, McNeese, Wing, Broderick, and Callahan down pit road right there. I believe that is the 92. That's the Nick Wing. Here comes another group led by James Mayer, Seabrands, Bergeron, Stringle. Chris Jordan is coming off of pit road. Stephen Luttrell. Adam Gilday going to be your leader. Got Anthony English right behind him. Mark Mann with this group. Are they going to come down pit road this next time by? Mark Mann right on the bumper of Andrew Schroeder. Looks like Schroeder's still a lap down. So is Mark Mann. Nope, Mark is on the lead lap. Well, here comes Mark and Schroeder coming down pit road. Adam Kilday, Anthony English staying out. Dave Hunt coming off of pit road. I think I turned my volume down. Nope. Kilday and English making their way around. That is the 38 of Thomas Lockwood. Keeping an eye on these guys to see if they're going to make a pit stop or if they're going to try to push it as far as they can with 21 to go. Nope, they're going to go ahead and make this pit stop now. Everett Lane battling it again for the lead, for the second place spot. I should say for the lead now as they come around the pit road. Jimmy Reynolds out front on the outside. Everett Lane, Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles, Chris Jordan on that inside line. Outside, though, you have Reynolds, Zonto, Logston. Trying to see who that's McNeese and Warren on that outside. As they come out of turn number 4, coming to the tri-oval. We will be 19 to go at the line. Guys, this is going to be a nail biter to the end. I can already see it. Looking back through here, McNeese, Sanchez, Nate Warren, Jeremy Stanley in the mix as well as Nick Wing. And then you have Stuart Broderick. Got the help of the 36 of Luttrell, getting him pushed back out to the front. And then back here, the second group, led by Andy Brigante, Vicente Guerrero, Rick Seabrands, Gary Bergeron, Richard Kuhn, CJ Urban, Mark Mann, David Stringle. David Stringle and James Mayer looking up the outside. Mark Mann, Adam Bishop, Anthony English. Of course, Andrew Zonto. Zonto still shows to be a lap down. Chris Jordan, Stephen Luttrell up here. Ryan Callahan again back here by himself, as well as Dave Hunt. Andrew Schroeder Dana Shepherd right behind Anthony English. Battling going on out here. That is the 001 of Stuart Broderick, making it 3 wide. As he is door to door with the 81 of Logston. Broderick looking to try to get a run on that outside, but not by himself. He's going to fall back to the spots here. Drops it back down behind the 84 of McNeese. They're coming up on a lap car. Everett Lane moving up to that second groove with Jimmy Reynolds. That pushes that top line up close to that wall. Don't know if I would have done it that way by Lockwood, but at least he held his line on that lower line to let that group go by. He didn't come up on them. He didn't do anything ridiculous. He just held his line on that low line. Ooh, Zonto up into the door of the 81 machine of Logston. Then McNeese right behind Logston, but I don't know if Logston's getting a little warm or what the deal was there. That's going to slow them up. 15 laps to go, folks. We are almost done here tonight. Been some good green flag racing. We've had several green flag pit stops to this point. Uh-oh. Eric said he lost internet for a bit. Glad to have you back though, Eric. Ooh, Zonto getting a little bit loose there. He is door to door with Gabe Butler. Here comes Everett Lane down pit road. He's going to lead that group with Jimmy Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez, all coming down pit road. They did a short run. Obviously, they're not going to have enough fuel to make it. I see a car going down. That's Zonto getting sideways. He comes back out on the track. Luckily, nobody was around him. That does bring out a caution, though. We're going to take a look to see if somebody wrecked. That was just a single car. Oh, Logston down on. Oh, Logston around. Collected Zonto. That's going to change the dynamics of everything on this run. So these guys will come down pit road. They will fuel up. They did not want to see that, the pit strategies that was going on. Right out the window, folks. We'll wait till they get caught up here. And I want to talk to Mr. Dave Hunt. Let's see if he is. Yep, he is right there. Well, with 2 cars involved, Eric, I think they have to. I think that is in the rules. If it's 2 cars, they will throw a caution. If it was a single car, I don't think they would have. But I think because it was 2 cars, they have to. And of course, anything under 5 laps is going to be iRacing only. We're still on Dave Hunt. He's going to try to get his lap back here. I think he was the first car a lap down. Let's go ahead and bring him up here real quick. See if he'll visit with us real quick. Dave, Steve up in the booth. Got a copy there, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Hey, man. Hey, thank you for sponsoring tonight's race, Dave. I know you're probably trying to get your lucky dog back or your lap back here, but real quick, wanted to visit with you a little bit about Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, what you guys do, and what you got going on there.
Yeah, I'll talk about the pilot operations degree. It's a Bachelor of Science in Pilot Operations. So for any pilots out there that are rated and they don't have a bachelor's degree and they'd like to get one, they can get up to 45 credits for what they're rated in. So that's a pretty good deal towards a 120 credit degree.
Oh, absolutely. I myself was actually got accepted into a flight school here in Oklahoma, probably one you've heard of, Spartan, but my military stuff wouldn't take care of my training for my private license that I needed to have. So
yeah, you can't get into this program. You already got to have your private license. That's one of the requirements.
Okay. So this is just like a continuing or
It's for like rated pilots. So if you're like a certified flight instructor and already got all your ratings, or you got an ATP but just never got a bachelor's degree, you could use all your ratings to get that credit.
Okay. So it's pretty good program, you guys. I kind of looked you guys up online. The first race you sponsored, and you guys got a nice facility down there, good campus looks like, and a pretty good program.
Yeah, we got the Daytona Beach campus, and then we got a Prescott campus in Arizona, and then actually I work for Worldwide. We're all over the whole world, so we're everywhere.
Awesome thing you guys are doing, and I know you're veteran friendly with from what I've seen, so big shout out to you guys for all you do, and man, just good luck tonight, and thanks for coming in, visiting with us a little about Embry-Riddle, and just have fun out there tonight, brother.
All right, appreciate it there, Steve. Thank you.
Hi, buddy. We'll get him back down there, so big shout out to Dave for sponsoring tonight's race, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University at 200. Be sure you go check them out. If you are like he said, if you're a current rated pilot and you're trying to get your bachelor's degree, and get with Embry-Riddle, they will be able to hook you up. So big shout out to Dave and Embry-Riddle, especially for sponsoring tonight's race here at OP. Saturday night Buttkicker Unlimited Series, as we are winding down here, folks. Excuse me. Everett Lane is your leader. Rick Sanchez in second. Gabe Butler third. Reynolds in fourth. Miles in fifth. McNeese, Stanley, Broderick, Warren, Guerrero round out your top 10. Then we have Kilday, Bergeron, Bishop, Mayer, Erdman, English, Wheat, Kuhn, Mann, Stringle, Logston, Brigante, Seabrands, Luttrell, Jordan, Zonto, Callahan, of course Dave Hunt, Andrew Schroeder, Dana Shepard, Mike Edgerton still out here, Thomas Lockwood out here, and that will round out your 32 car field. We have Bubba Winningham, green flag back out, Chevrolet green flag once again, kind of got sidetracked, but we have Bubba Winningham, Doug Johnson, Brandon Piper, and Dwayne Corbett have taken their cars behind the wall. Sanchez getting out to the front by Reynolds. Of course, Lane Butler, Miles. Looks like Jeremy Stanley down on the inside line. Nate Warren as well as the 49. We got cars, and we've got a caution already. I did not even see what happened there, but we're going to take a look. Ooh, looked like a checkup. That was the 56 of Mike Edgerton. The 36 of Luttrell down in front of the 43. Gets the 43 around. Looked like Dana was able to kind of save it, got down in the grass. Ooh, big jump there, though. That sent Dana for a ride as he is throwing grass all over the track now. Well, back live here, folks. See, we are on lap 92, so we will have 9 to go. Who, I don't know, Ginger. He has not had a real good night. Of course, Lockwood's 3 laps down. Edgerton, I think, is 6 laps down. Dave Hunt was the first car lap down, so he should get the lucky dog. Schroeder's a lap down. Yeah, Lockwood, Edgerton are 6 laps down. We get wound down here, folks. Well, Belva Rick right now is in second. Of course, we are unlimited GWCs up to 15 attempts. So it's a limited, it's an unlimited limited GWC attempts, I should say. I kind of want to visit with guys, but being this close to the end, I honestly don't want to give them that broadcaster's jinx. So we are going to just hold off on visiting with anybody. We will wait to the end of the race. Dave Hunt down on pit road. Dana Shepard down on pit road. These guys should be coming back out. At least Dave Hunt's coming back out. Now Dave did get his lap back. They come to the start-finish line. We will, lights on the pace car will go out. We will go back double file before the restart, so we'll be 1 to go. Lap 90 or on lap 94. Should be 5 to go when we get the restart here, folks. Of course, on this restart, though, it will be, we will be 5 to go. It will be iRacing cautions only. So whatever iRacing deems a yellow is warranted, it will throw the yellow flag. So. Running through our top 10, though, Lane, Sanchez, Butler, Reynolds, Miles, McNeese, Stanley, Broderick, Guerrero, Warren, your top 10. Kilday, Bergeron, Bishop, English, Mayer, Kuhn, Erdman, Wing, Mann, and Stringle, the 20 cars. And then rounding out the field, Logston, Seabrands, Picante, Zonto, Callahan, Luttrell, Jordan, Hunt, Schroeder, Dana Shepherd coming back out onto the track. Lockwood, Edgerton is the 32 car field right now. I can't say this enough. I do appreciate everybody tuning in out there on YouTube. And of course, big shout out to Joshua coming back to the broadcast booth on another league, double broadcast tonight. They should be about done, if not done with theirs. Chevyland green flag back out. Here we go, folks. 6 to go. I thought it was 5, 6 to go. Sorry about that. I missed it. Sanchez on the outside with Reynolds. That is the 84 of McNeese. Looks like Stuart Broderick out there as well. On the inside, though, you have Lane, Butler, Miles, Stanley, Guerrero, Kilday. Gary Bergeron looking at going to the outside. Oh, Anthony. Looks like Anthony's blinking out again. Sanchez trying to make a run on the outside with Reynolds. Not quite enough to get around that 024 of Everett Lane. We are 5 to go now, folks. Bergeron still to the outside. He is falling back. Now we got another car going to the outside with him. Bergeron back down to the second lane. And that was the 04 Mark Mann. 001 of David Stringle. Still looking up at the front, though. Lane on the inside with Butler, Miles. On the outside, Sanchez, Reynolds, McNeese, Broderick, Warren. A little bit of side drafting going on, trying to keep that momentum up. Lane on the inside, Sanchez on the outside. Guys, it's 4 to go. Going to be a battle of attrition. These guys aren't on that outside line, aren't getting a very good run as we are door to door back here. A little bit wiggle there between the 001 of, that is Broderick, 16 and 8 Warren. 3 wide back here. That is the 81 of Logston, the 10 of Bergeron. Making 3 wide back here. 3 laps to go here, folks. See some guys making some pretty aggressive moves. Oh, Logston up into the wall. It's going to slow his momentum down a little bit. 69 of Callahan hard in the wall. Hunt right behind him. Now we got another car. That looked like that was the 16 of Warren going to the outside. We're 3 wide. That's Warren, Kilday. Now McNeese going to the outside as well. Making it 3 wide for the lead. Lane, Sanchez, McNeese. Here we go. 2 laps to go, folks. Again, battling 3 wide. Let's get our battle for position on. Ben's it so close. That outside line, that 3rd lane, just not enough. But they are getting the run on the back stretches. We got cars turning. That's going to bring out a caution, folks. Yep, right there it is. Lane, Sanchez, McNeese. Top 3. Well, this will be GWC attempt number 1. Kind of looking through some things here, folks. Give me just a second. Well, I thought maybe we would have Josh come over after his broadcast. Must have wore him out, so he is showing offline. Well, GWC attempt number 1 right now. It has Lane, Sanchez, Butler, McNeese, and Reynolds, your top 5. I thought we were going to make it back around to the white flag, but excuse me, that didn't quite happen. They were close. They were close to getting back to the white flag, though, but this will be GWC attempt number 1. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a nail biter, Belva. I had that feeling. Andrew Zonto down pit road. Nick Wing down on pit road as well. Dana Shepard back down on pit road. I'm looking to see. Dana, I don't know if he is going to come back out or not. Nick Wing is coming off a pit road. Dana Shepard still in his pit box. As we come out of turn number 4, the lights on the pace car should go out this time by. That will make us 1 to go. All right, Dana Shepard did come out of his pit box. Going to try to beat the pace car out. That does make Shepard, I believe, 2 laps down. Yeah, Dana's had a pretty rough night tonight. I have to admit, he's not had the greatest of nights. As well as some of our others, Bubba Whittingham, Doug Johnson, Brandon Pfeiffer. Brandon, who's been doing pretty well here lately, not having a rough night. Of course, Dwayne, our up-and-comer, I think, he's been doing very well over the last several weeks, just having a rough night as well. All right, so that's going to put Everett Lane on the inside, Sanchez on the outside, Gabe Butler inside row 2, Lynn McNeese outside row 2, Jimmy Reynolds inside row 3, Stephen Miles outside row 3. But we're going to keep an eye right here on the front. These guys come out of turns, looks like we're in turns 3 and 4. Coming out of turn 4, pace car will dive off down to pit road. We will get ready for the Chevy Land green flag restart here in just a second. There goes the pace car, folks, coming to the Geico restart zone. The Chevy Land green flag in the air, back out, here we go. GWC attempt number 1 underway. Gabe Butler on the inside with Jimmy Reynolds. We got Rick Sanchez, Lemon Nice on the outside. Here comes Stephen Miles trying to get that gap closed up to get Sanchez pushed up. Sanchez down on the door of the 17. Getting a little bit of a run coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. And we got another car going around. Look like a single car, so no caution. Adam Kilday getting turned around. Several cars involved. That's going to bring out a caution, folks. Maybe. No caution. Nope. White flag in the air. No caution, which is strange. Rick Sanchez getting pushed out to the front by Lynn McNeese. It's going to be a drag race now. Do not know why that caution didn't come out again. iRacing caution. Sanchez out front. Lynn McNeese right behind him. Everett Lane on the inside. Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds on the inside. Sanchez, McNeese, Miles on the outside. Drag race to the finish here, folks. Oh, Sanchez getting turned by McNeese. Everett Lane, Gabe Butler, Jimmy Reynolds going to take your top 3. We're going to take a look at some crashes here, folks. Let's take a look at the last crash here. As we can see, man, so many cars involved. Luttrell, Kuhn, Stanley, Logston. Look like Mark might have got a piece of it. Dave Hunt, Stringle, Broderick. Bergeron. Everett Lane is burning it up out on the track. We will get our top 3 here for post-race interview. Folks, hang tight. We will be right back. All right, folks, we have caught up with our top three. They kind of made it easy on me because they was all in the same room. But we will start with our third place finisher. Let me get this pulled up here, Jimmy. The faded Metallica car, dude. I mean, when it was right now, it looks faded, but man, that is a beautiful car.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I don't know what it is with the night races lately with iRacing. For some reason, the spec maps look, like hazy or faded. But
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It just kind of looks
because
faded.
Gabe's car looks the same way, and I was kind of like, that's different. But I guess it's just something iRacing's got going on with the nighttime right now. But it's all good.
Well, Gabe's car looks pretty clear to me, but but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But man, what a finish! I mean, big chaos behind you guys. You guys kind of in the right place at the right time, I guess. And man, it was just a wild finish behind you guys. Several cars involved, but man, awesome finish. So let's talk about a little bit about the race tonight with the update. How the cars feel to you? Did they fix anything? Did they mess anything up? Talk about it.
It seems to be a little more twitchy than it was, just a little less stable. As far as the damage model and all that, I really, knock on wood, I really didn't get into any accidents tonight, so I can't really speak on that. But it just seems a little twitchy. But other than that, the car seemed fine to me. As far as that last wreck, I would think iRacing would have thrown it for that, but I don't know why it didn't, to be honest with you. But it worked out in our favor for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Jimmy, I mean, you had a pretty decent start. I believe you started in 9th spot. Finishing in the P3 is not a bad night. Good points night for you, too. But, we got, oh, man, where are we at next week? Our schedule's kind of messed up after the holiday break there. I believe we're at Talladega next week, so I know a lot of you guys love Talladega. So, what do you got for these guys next week?
I'm just points racing right now, so I mean, I'd love to get a win, but ultimately, if I can keep getting, top 10s, top 5s, top 3s, that would be, that's my goal. Try not to get killed and try to have some good points nights. That's basically what I'm trying to do right now. So, and for us to get top 3 tonight, that was pretty dang cool.
Yeah, and again, points wins championships, dude. Until you get into the playoffs, at least get you there anyway. You know what I mean?
Right, 100%.
So awesome job, Jimmy. Great race tonight. Had some good green flag pit stops, which I know everybody loves to see. So real quick, how was your pit stops tonight? How did it feel? Pit entrance, pit exit, sloppy, slidey, slick, grippy.
No, it just it was pretty good for me tonight. I every once in a while I'll slip up and do something stupid in pit row, especially when it's time to do something good, But tonight I executed all my pit stops pretty good tonight, and was able to come out with the boys. Yeah, it didn't seem too slick. It was a little slick in the pit area, in the pit zone. Your pit box area was a little slick there, but coming in seemed to be pretty good, and going out was pretty grippy. So, yeah.
All in all, not a bad night for you, Jimmy. Congratulations, buddy. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
I just want to thank all the admins for coming out, doing their job, doing all their job in the background. Appreciate you broadcasting us and doing a great job. And appreciate all the racers for coming out, because without them, there'd be no us. And we appreciate them. So, yeah, thank you. Thanks.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Congratulations. Go celebrate. And we might see you. Will we see you tomorrow night?
Yeah, good chance.
All right. If not, we'll definitely see you Monday, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. Well, that's going to bring us to our second place finisher. We'll get him into the booth. Mr. Gabe Butler, that 88 machine, man, you you started right there. You were in fourth, I think, started up a couple spots, but again, you know, that last big wreck. Even some of our fans are out there like, man, what happened to the caution? But you know, you guys was just in a good spot.
Yeah, we were, and I mean, we put ourselves in a good spot. So, you know, we had really good pit stops tonight. We were able to stay up front for the most part, and just everything worked out in our favor. And the Jimmy and Everett, they did a fantastic job, and I was just glad to be part of it.
Well, you know, you guys kind of hung out and stayed together. I know you guys were running together pretty much all night. Let's talk a little bit about pit strategy. You guys were getting, I was looking here, y'all were getting about 18, 19 laps to a tank of fuel. Could you go a little bit more, or was y'all kind of pushing it at that?
We were pushing it to get to that, but I mean, if you were back in the pack, you could have went an extra lap and you could have squeezed maybe 19, possibly 20 out of it.
Okay.
But we felt that track position was kind of a lot more important tonight, especially here at Daytona. This car had been a little bit unstable. We thought, you know, just trying to maintain track position and sacrifice the fuel a little bit, and that again too ended up in our favor. So all the decisions we made tonight really worked out for us. So I guess ultimately we got really lucky with that.
Well, awesome job, man. I mean, you know, you guys were able to stay pretty much clean. I didn't see you guys getting a whole lot of stuff. Just a couple little bit of door bangs here and there, but that's just hard racing.
Yeah, that's all it is. It was just hard racing. I did get some right front damage, I believe, and I don't think there was a caution on it. I don't know who hit me. It doesn't matter, but that I had 4 incident points, but it was affecting the heating on the car. But then the cautions started coming out, so I was able to get it cool and had it nice and cool for that last run there to push Everett along, and so it worked out for us.
Well, awesome job, Gabe, man. Good to see you up here again. I mean, you've been pretty consistent, so good points night for you tonight as well. So what do you got for these guys next week? We're at Talladega.
I will just try and do it again, man. I mean, Talladega is a lot more forgiving than Daytona is, and it's a little bit wider, obviously, so probably see a lot more 3-wide action. And, you know, we'll try and do the same thing and keep the momentum going and do our best.
All right, brother. Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic back over to you, Gabe. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give before you go celebrate, brother?
Yeah, man. Just, again, great job to the fellas tonight. Everett and Jimmy, fantastic job, actually. And 1, 2, 3, can't ask for more than that. And, of course, OP and all the admins, they do a great job. It's a great league. And, of course, yourself there, Steven, up there with MaxSpeedTV in the booth. Can't wait to go back and look at this one, man. Should be a blast.
Well, we actually had a dual broadcast tonight, Gabe. Josh Medlock back in the booth broadcasting on another league on Saturday night. So you guys are stuck with me from now on Saturday night. So.
Well, there's no worries there, man. You do a fantastic job, and glad to hear Josh is back at it. That's great news.
Absolutely. Well, Gabe, go celebrate, buddy. Congratulations, man. And well, let's see. You race on Sunday, so will we see you tomorrow night?
No, I do race on Sundays, but in another league.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we will definitely see you Monday then.
All right, brother.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, Steve.
We'll move him down there with the other guys, and we will bring up our race winner. My goodness gracious. What can we say? Mr. Everett Lane in that 024. Man, I don't know if that's actual flames because you was on fire tonight, dude.
Yeah, Steve, the 24 Chevy Camaro was fast tonight. Got in a little trouble early. Had to use a quick fix early on lap 7, but came out pretty good there at the end, man. It was a fun race tonight.
Well, do me a favor if you would. I'm getting some echo. It looks like you're on the YouTube channel. If you could turn that down a little bit for me. But man, you had some teammates with you. Some, you guys was running together. Y'all finished 1, 2, 3. But the question was that last wreck, you guys hadn't made it to the start finish line. iRacing didn't throw the caution, but you guys was right there in a good spot and avoided that, and of course that helped you guys finish where you finished. I'm sure that there's going to be some people looking back at that.
Yeah, iRacing works funny sometimes at these super speedways with caution. You know, when cars are pretty much off the track, it might not throw it. And over here at OP, there's no admin cautions after I think lap 10 or so. But yeah, we boot knockers were sitting good there when that happened, and I'm thankful that the caution didn't come out. I ended up with the win. So, and Gabe and Jimmy finishing right there with me, and I'm in a happy mood right now. It was a good night.
Definitely a good night, good points night. Of course, win, you're in, so you're in the playoffs now, buddy. Man, it was an awesome race. You guys had some good green flag pit stops. Y'all worked together, and man, let's talk a little bit about that. I know the other guys was saying that because you know, at Daytona, Talladega, especially with some of the track temps, but being at night, well, I'm sure we got a little bit cooler temps. But was you have any issues with the pit stops, the pit entrance, the pit exit, the pit box?
Nah, tonight the team boot knockers were hitting their pit stops. Unbelievable tonight. We were coming in good. No one got no speeding penalties all night, and we were exiting great. I think every time we came out, we were coming out in the lead. Gabe was making some good calls back there, win the pit, and it was just good teamwork tonight that got us these finishes up here. I love racing at Daytona. It's probably my favorite track in iRacing. So get a win here and a finish with the boot knockers. The way we finished tonight's awesome.
Well, you know, we got Talladega next week, Everett. You know, of course, like Jimmy and Gabe said, it's a little more forgiving of a track, a little wider. So we're going to probably see some 3 wide. Could possibly even get to see some 4 wide.
Yeah, you definitely see 4 wide out there over here with the OP drivers. There's a lot of really good talent over here at OP. So you probably will see some 4 wide racing over there at Talladega, that's for sure.
Well, Everett, awesome job, buddy. Congratulations on the victory tonight. I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
Yeah, first got to thank Gabe Butler there for that push, and Jimmy for getting right behind him, making a 3-car tandem there to get me to the checkered flag. I want to thank all the admins over here for all the work they do at OP, and all the work that you do up there, Steve announcing. You really do a great job up there. And tonight, we can be brothers.
I'll take it. But yeah, again, I don't know if you heard or not, but Joshua is back on the mic again. He is broadcasting another league on Saturday nights. Started tonight. He had some YouTube issues, but it will be on the MaxSpeedTV Facebook page, so you'll be able to go back and see that if you want to listen to Josh ramble on a little bit. But glad to have him back up in the booth and everything. But Everett, congratulations, buddy. Go celebrate. We will see you. Well, you going to race tomorrow night for checker flag or Monday?
Probably be back Monday.
Okay, we will see you Monday, Everett.
All right there, Steven. Thank you very much, bud.
All right, take care, brother.
All right, good night.
All right, well, folks, that's going to do it. We're going to get to our unofficial results. Of course, I think they're going to probably go back and look, but we'll see what they say. But Everett Lane, your winner tonight. We're going to go ahead and get right into our results. Everett Lane there in the win for that 024 machine. Gabe Butler second. Jimmy Reynolds finishing third. Stephen Miles with a fourth place finish. Nate Warren in fifth. Kenny Bishop in sixth. Lynn McNeese seventh. Rick Sanchez falling back to eighth. Thought he was going to have a chance. Got caught up in that mess back there. Andrew Zonto in ninth. Anthony English with a top 10 finish. Mark Mann in 11th. Chris Jordan 12th. Adam Kilday 13th. James Mayer 14th. Dave Hunt 15th. Nick Wing in 16th. Stuart Broderick in 17th. Ryan Callahan in 18th. Finishing 19th was Gary Bergeron. In 20th was Stephen Luttrell. C.J. Erdman in 21st. David Stringle in 22nd. Andy Brigante 23rd. Rick Seabrands in 24th. Vicente Guerrero 25th. Dustin Logston 26th. Richard Kuhn in 27th. And Jeremy Stanley in 28th. 29th was Andrew Schroeder. Dana Shepard, rough night for Dana, finishing in 30th. Thomas Lockwood in 31st. Mike Edgerson in 32nd. Bubba Winningham in 33rd. Doug Johnson 34th. Brandon Pfeiffer 35th. And Dwayne Corbett running out our 36 car field. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us tonight here on Max Speed TV for the Embry-Riddle at Aeronautical University 250 here at Daytona. Again, tomorrow night we will be live for the Checker Flag Motorsports Speedway Monkeys, and we will be, let me see where we're at. We will be off tomorrow night for Father's Day. So, again, all the fathers out there, all the dads, happy Father's Day. And we will actually be back live on Max Speed TV on Monday for the OP Premier Series right here on Max Speed TV. Well, folks, appreciate everybody tuning in. Eric W., Belva Feltz out there. Bubba Winningham out there in chat for a little bit. Of course, got to give a shout out to Bubba and Chevyland.com, our green flag sponsor here on Max Speed TV. Big shout out to Bubba and Chevyland for doing what they do, not only for OP, for CFM, and for Max Speed TV, but just everything that they do in general. Bubba's a great guy, but if you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, go to Chevyland.com. You could do all the financing online, if I remember right, and also if you can't make it to Shreveport, Louisiana, which is where Chevyland is located, they will deliver in the lower 48 states, so big shout out to them. But also, we got a shout out to the rest of our viewers out there: Ginger Parrott, Daniel Parrott, Brendan Kennedy, William Luttrell, Stephen Luttrell popping in, Q-Ball 37 rooting on Dwayne Corbett, Steve Hoppett, our friend from down under. Glad to see Steve. Steve needs to get re-registered, but he needs to come out and race with these guys. But let's see, am I missing Everett Baker out there? Of course, my nephew Dylan. Dylan, I hope you're safe, buddy. Hope you get your truck fixed. But again, big shout out to Joshua Medlock. Glad to have him again back in the booth and calling some races once again. But that's going to do it for us tonight here on Max Speed TV. So everybody please have a great weekend, rest of your weekend. Have a great Father's Day. And stay safe. We will see you guys Monday night.